We were a small church. It was El Cerrito United Methodist Church, located off Stockton Avenue in El Cerrito. A small church that had once been large, very vibrant, but over the course of time, the congregation dwindled and aged and moved away.
We had gone through a 3-year discernment process where we were trying to decide if we could maintain the church, if we could grow the church enough to be able to afford the property, which was quite large and had a lot of deferred maintenance.
We found ourselves small enough to still be a tight-knit group, but not large enough to care for the facility that we had.
We realized that we couldn't grow the church quickly enough to be able to afford the property and afford its maintenance. So we finally came to the conclusion that we would sell the property.
We didn't exactly know, how do you go about selling a church? And how do you go about selling a church but staying a church? Once we got to know DCG, we really began to trust that we were in good hands. Their main goal was to help us do something that was right for us. And if that was the way we could make the sale, then they worked us through that whole process. And I never once got any indication that financing was their top goal, or making revenue was their top goal. Instead, their top goal was making sure we were going where we needed to go.
First and foremost, they brought experience in real estate that none of us had at all and desperately needed. But I think for me personally, the most important thing was the level of patience and understanding of the kind of processes that a faith-based organization has to go through in terms of planning the sale and move out of a piece of property.
So we made the sale. Our congregation decided that we wanted to wander in the wilderness a bit before we really could get a good sense of the mission that we felt in front of us. And we had home church for a while until the neighborhood with the home church objected to the loud music on Sunday morning. Another Methodist church, Church of the Good Shepherd, invited us to share this space with them. We rented it, and we did it for about a year. And at the end of that year, Good Shepherd and El Cerrito United Methodist Church decided that, we really were becoming a family. They liked where we were heading, and we liked them. At the end of that year, Open Door United Methodist Church was born out of the two, and it's been great ever since. They have just been almost like members of our church, because they are the ones we go to when we say, hey, we've got this issue, what do you think? We have a new one coming up, and we're going to call them and go, hey, we've got this issue, what do you think? What's your best advice for us?
They understand what you're going through. They understand what we're going through. And you need to know that there is a real estate agency that specializes in helping people like us.